Time now for Westminster's toughest talking MP, Deputy Chair of the Conservative Party, Lee Anderson. And in the latest failed bid by the left to bring down our red wall Rottweiler, woke celebrity chef Jack Munro's libel case against him expired this week after failing to file legal documents in time. Now, major questions are now circulating about where donation money she received to fund the case has gone. Munro set her lawyers on Lee after he slammed her for, quote, taking money off some of the most vulnerable in society when she crowdfunded a separate libel case against another adversary. She claimed all the cash raised to fight Lee in the courts would go to charity if it ended up being a pro bono case. More than a year later, though, it's all gone silent. So, Lee Anderson, great to have you here. Jack Munro surely has some serious questions to answer because you say you've heard nothing about this legal case and the statute of limitations now expired, right?
It's all gone very quiet, Dan. Like you say, I think it was Monday that the year time limit passed. I've heard nothing from Jack Munro or her solicitors. I know at the time when she threatened legal action, there was some fundraising going off through a PayPal account, I believe it was. And, you know, people asking questions now, people asking serious questions, my constituents, people in the general public are saying, where has this money gone? And I think that's a reasonable question to ask.
Yeah, her agent and lawyer not saying anything to us today. She does have a bit of a track record in terms of crowdfunding, and we've seen with the SNP, haven't we, that this can be taken very, very seriously, because if you're asking the public to fund certain cases, then you've got to make sure that you're actually putting it into whatever.
I think so, Dan. And when some of these campaigners set up a GoFundMe page or just giving page, you can actually track the money. You can see how much money's been collected and raised, and that's fair enough. But when you do, I think when you do it through a PayPal account, you can't actually see how much money that person's been paid and what's been paid out and where that money's gone to.
So, is your message to Jack Munro, where has the money gone?
Yeah.
That's what we need to know.
My message is, Jack, you know, where's the money gone? It's as simple as that. You know, if you raise some money, how much and which good cause have you given it to? And
actually maybe show us the proof that it's gone to the charity.
Because if it's gone to a good charity, I want to share that and say, well done, Jack.
Yeah, OK. Well, let's see it. Let's see it, Jack Munro, and hopefully we'll have some updates by next week. Now, Lee Furious Motorers pushed to breaking point once more on a London road this week, but I love the fight back. Have a look at this, Lee.
And that is right now. I want the out of the way.
I mean, Lee, people are really angry. I feel exactly like how that guy feels. But you're big on this with the cops, aren't you? Because they were at another committee today.
Yes, I am. I mean, just look at the state of them, Dan. I mean, it makes me angry. We had the police again in front of the Home Affairs Select Committee today. You know, this follows on from...
Interrupted by Justice Boyle.
Well, they were there Saturday back, and I was talking to colleagues, and we're just looking at them and thinking, they're protesters. We could tell just by looking at them. You know the type. You know, I spoke to Rowley, the police commissioner, a few weeks back. He gave me a little bit of a grilling. He started to act the day after. But today we had the assistant commissioner in there today, and these yobs, these protesters were in there. They took their jumpers off, they started spouting some nonsense. And I actually said to the assistant commissioner, and you might hear it on the clip, I said to him, are you going to do your job? Kick them out. But within seconds, to be fair, we got the security in, we got the cops in, and they dragged them out, and quite rightly so.
I know, but we've got to be tougher, don't we? Now, look, Lee, new blunder from the British bashing corporations. I couldn't believe this. The breakfast presenter Sally Nugent left viewers fuming. I've had lots of emails on this after referring to the Dambusters raid as infamous. Watch.
80 years after 19 Lancaster bombers took part in the infamous Dambuster raids, tonight a special anniversary flypast will take place over Lincolnshire to mark the occasion. We will have all of the details. That's coming up at 10 to 8 this morning.
Infamously infamous. That's not a coincidence,
no,
is it?
I would imagine, Dan, that when Sally's reading the news like that, she's reading off autocue, and that's been printed by a researcher, whoever, and they purposely put that word in on the autocue. She's read that. She knows what it means. It's an awful word. You know, these men were heroes to me. Heroes to the whole of the country. They risk their lives on a daily basis to fly these aeroplanes. And the BBC, you're quite right, bashing Britain again. They're almost taking the mickey out of our great war heroes. That's an awful word to call the Dambusters.
Yeah, let me just say to the BBC, it's your ex-employee, Jimmy Savile. That's infamous.
Yeah.
He's infamous.
And Rolf Harris.
And Rolf
And
Harris.
Terry Hall.
And Terry
Let's make a full list, Dan. Let's go through the lot.
Yeah, we'd be here quite a while.
There's a telephone book, isn't there?
The Dambusters Raiders, not infamous, famous, celebrated. And now, look, Lee, finally, you have a big talking point today because you're at this NatCon conference.
I was.
And you actually made a really personal speech. Have a look.
And Maggie came along and she said to me and my family that you are good people, you are law-abiding citizens, you do the right thing, you work hard, you want the very best for your children. And she offered a family, and thousands of families across the country, hope. She allowed this family to have something that they never dreamed they could have, which was their own property, own house and money, basically capital. And it wasn't a handout, it was the prospect of a Labour government terrifies me. I'm going to fight tooth and nail as in my role to make sure that we re-elect a Conservative government.
So, Lee, I thought that was a brilliant speech. Why has this conference had so much flack? I mean, the lefties have been attacking it.
Because they fear us, Dan. You know, when they get a group of my colleagues, MPs from the Conservative Party, get a good platform like that. It's been a really good conference, by the way. When they get us all together, especially people like me, who the left fear, they actually fear the lot of us collectively, because they know that we speak the language of the silent majority in this country, the true Conservatives. Like I said in my speech earlier today, most people in this country do have Conservative values, and they're terrified that we're actually stirring something up within society and reminding people that, yes, we do love our country, we do love our history, we do love our culture, and we're more likely to be a Conservative of all those values.
Indeed. Well, look, it was a very good speech.
Yeah, thank you.
Lee Anderson, we will speak next week. Thank you so much.